Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. Today we're going to talk about pigs and how we care for them. Now I wanted to point out something from last week. It got brought up in the comment section about the geese. Now sometimes I'll make mistakes on the different types and different breeds of birds, and these two are very similar. I mentioned that we had some pilgrim geese. They're actually Danish geese. Now the difference is they both come in white. The pilgrim geese will have two different colors. There'll be a white with tips on the wings that are slightly colored, and then another color will be all flush. Now the Danish geese, they also come in white, very similar to an Emden geese, which is about 5 pounds larger. But the Danish geese also come in a colored look where their neck is more white, but they have almost like a saddle on their back. So as you can see, they are fairly similar, and I goofed up, made a mistake, but I want to make sure I correct it just in case there's others out there that are a little confused. So anyway, clear that up, and now let's go out and check on the animals and show you how we take care of our pigs. Hi Barry, how you doing? Okay, so these are the little piglets. Well, they're not little piglets, but this is Piper, and that's Petey. Now, in feeding these guys, you want to make sure you don't overfeed pigs. Pigs can, you want some more? You guys want some more? I've got a couple apples here. Here. You want to feed them a ration. Now, what happens is you can't get through that skin, can you? You don't want to overfeed them. You want to put them on a ration. Generally, a rule of thumb is a cup for every 25 pounds of pig. Now, the way we feed these guys is a little bit differently because they're all together. You want... Oh, okay. Here, Lambert, you gonna have that? There you go. We feed them a little bit differently because they are all together. So what happens is we come out in the morning and we will spread out in the area 1 scoop of barley, 1 scoop of wheat, and 1 scoop, you want that, of oats. And it works out to probably about 23 cups-ish. And then they go and they eat kind of buffet style. Now, they will also eat the hay as well. Okay, here, you guys are... Here, you want some more of this? Oh, there you go, a big chunk. Now, this is, of course, a treat that I'm giving them. These guys are coming around very nicely. You're in the way, Lambert. I'm showing the pigs. Oh, well, I'll just talk. Okay, so we got these guys in... No, that's my thumb. Thank you. It's all done. This is a reason why we try not to feed by hand. Sometimes I break the rules because Patches now thinks my thumb is food. So we try to put them on the ground. Here I am breaking the rules, right guys? But of course with little children, we want to make sure that they're not going to get bitten. Hey Billy, get away from the camera. No. Come here. Come down. Okay. I try to put the camera up in certain areas that they're not going to knock it down. Okay, so getting back to where I was. Last summer we had, actually a year and a half ago. Oh boy. Oh, Carl. It's so hard to film when you're out with these animals. You can just see how they interrupt me. We had Juliana painted pigs. So we had one, and I've done a couple videos on this in the past. We had one that came in, she was pregnant, and so we took her in, put her in one of the pens, and she had a bunch of piglets. So, talking about pigs and micro and mini pigs. Now, of course, people see them, and you've probably seen them on Facebook or just on the internet in general, about micro, mini, nano pigs. So they are a real thing, but there's a little bit of a secret behind that. Micro, mini, nano pigs are actually pigs that are smaller than normal, and at adult they're 150 pounds or below 150 pounds. So these two here are actually micro pigs, nano pigs, right? I don't have any more. Now they're one of the smaller breeds. I did a video on Berkshire pigs, which are the large meat pigs. And those of course are regular pigs, not nano micro. And the Juliana painted pig, which is a little bit smaller than these guys, about the size of Carl here, and you saw them this past summer if you were watching the videos. They are also considered a micro nano pig, and they're one of the smallest breeds. American minis are fairly small as well, but if you're planning on getting a pig to have in your house and you're thinking it's going to remain that small, it won't. Now there's breeders out there that do try to breed down in size, so you will get some pigs that are smaller than others, but in general the size of that breed is larger than just a tiny pig. And you can run into a lot of health issues. Okay, so where do they sleep? Now pigs, they can remain outside. You can see here she is she's rooting. She's looking for those little morsels of food. And you can see we had some visitors come out and put in some peas. So that's what they're rooting for in here. They're looking for the peas. And where did Petey go? Hi Blackie, is Petey? Oh, there's Petey in here. So what we did is we put all the hay and we spread it out all in here, and they made a nest. Didn't you? Oh, Petey. Petey, where are you going? So they made a nest here, and they'll just burrow down into it. Now in the dead of winter, we'll come out here and we'll look for these guys to feed them. They'll come out and there'll be a big amount of steam that comes out here. All right, well, Petey's gonna go back out looking for food. Now, care for the coat. Now the coat on these guys, they have pretty wiry skin. What? I can't pet you? Hey? Now there can be skin issues, dry skin. What some people have done is actually put people stuff on them. All kinds of care packages that came in with not these pigs, but our previous Pot Bellied. They had off to keep the bugs off. They had skin lotions. They had all kinds of stuff. The only thing you really need is what we use here is coconut oil. And you just smear the coconut oil on there. If they get dry skin, coconut oil is natural, and it smells good too, right guys? So for some of you that have seen the last videos where I did talk about the American minis, and we had a few pot-bellied, some little ones that came in, we brought them in for somebody to, he was looking to rehome some of them. I believe it was the pot-bellied, and he wanted to keep the American minis. But he wanted to have friendly pigs, and so we brought them over, and you know, you sit down with them, and we spend quite a bit of time with our animals. But the issue there was we realized they had bugs. So that's something that, of course, we don't want to pass on to our animals. That's why it's always good to put new animals in a contained area. Leave them there for about 7 days before you introduce them into your herd or flock. Just in case they have any kind of parasites, any kind of issues, you want to basically keep that to themselves and not spread it amongst your other animals. So once we found that, we contacted them and said, this just isn't going to work out. You'll have to take them to the vet first and make sure that that's taken care of. Now, how do you stop that from happening? Well, you want to make sure that they have a clean environment. Always keeping it clean. We've had people come into the barn here and say, you know, wow, this doesn't even look like a barn. It's nice and clean, fresh hay, and that's the key. You know, you want to make sure it's nice and clean. The concrete floor in there helps quite a bit as well, makes it easy to clean. Somebody had asked in the comments about how large that building is. So it's 25 by 35 feet. And we built this a few years back and just took into design. This was an old building here that we had attached to our mobile home. We had a trailer here before we built the house. Sold it, now it's the shop. And I had designed this building to come off of that building and then to slope down. So it's worked well over the years. It's a concrete bottom. And there's the Danish geese over there that I was talking about. Whoa, loud. Right? Loud. What are you doing, Patches? Oh, silly girl. All right, so those are our pot-bellied pigs. These are the last ones, last pigs we have. We often get pigs coming and going. So these guys are up for adoption. They're very healthy now. When they came in, their stomachs were almost touching the ground. Very overweight. So don't just feed them scraps and keep feeding them scraps, because they'll keep eating them. And you want to make sure they have a good ration and they forage for their food like they're doing right now, and they're getting their exercise. All right, so I'm back in the building and I thought I'd just show you what we feed here. So this is the scoop that we have right here. And this is the wheat. So there's the wheat. So we do one good scoop of that. Over here we have oats. So we do one scoop of that, and I can feel some rabbits and some chickens biting at my ankles here as I drop some feed. And the other one's barley, which should be right here. Yeah, there's the other one here. So there's the barley. So it's all natural stuff. Now, you can combine the amounts with other food, like scraps, but just make sure that you're not giving them too much scrap. Just throwing all your leftovers there. Make sure you keep an eye on them, make sure they're healthy, they have a good weight, they're not, they're not fat, essentially. And that they're not just lazing around inside. You want to make sure that they're out, they're foraging. Everybody needs exercise, even pigs, so they shouldn't be just in sleeping all the time and then sleeping and eating. You know what that does to us. In the summertime, you'll often see them out back. They'll be foraging in the grass, they'll be digging up, getting beetles and bugs and all kinds of nasty things out there. But they do eat the hay and they eat the grass as well. So just keep an eye on your pig, make sure they're healthy skin-wise and they have a good weight on them. But general rule of thumb, if you are feeding like the pig pellets, the standard for a pet pig is 1 cup for every 25 pounds, around that number. Now, adjust that accordingly depending on how your pigs are behaving and looking and acting. Now, of course, if you're breeding them for meat, then that's a whole different story. They tend to feed them as much as possible because they're, of course, trying to fatten them up. But for a healthy pig with a long lifespan, make sure you give them a good diet. And that's it for the pig video. I believe I covered everything. I covered their housing outside, just give them hay, feed, watch their weight, and give them lots of attention. These guys, when they came, you couldn't get 10, 15 feet. You were lucky if you got 10, 15 feet from them. But now you can see, of course, food works wonders. Even with food back then, it didn't help out. So that's it. I will end this video with a cute little segment that I took, a year and a half ago when we had the Juliana painted pigs. I took out some apples and I played with them and fed them those, and I figured it's a good way to end this pig video. So until next week, take care, and again, if you have any questions, these comments that I'm getting in the comments section are helping me find out what you guys want and what you guys want to see, and I'll make videos accordingly. Thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.